Good morning.
Hi guys, welcome to WRME Live. Long time no see.
Not that long.
Well, I haven't been here in a while. It's mostly Carl.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stepping in for him because he got a phone call. So he's going to go take care of business and I get to say hi to you guys again. Is everything working on the little techie thing?
It seems to be.
I'll have to take your word for it. She's the tech one. I'm just in charge of bureaucracy, frankly. But I'm good at the bureaucracy, unfortunately. Everyone needs a bureaucrat, I guess. But let's see. What are y'all thinking about all this kind of cool, crisp weather we got right now? I'm really enjoying it. December 1. It's nice and crisp. I think David Payne was suggesting that we're going to have a wet winter. He didn't say whether it was snow or ice, and that it would probably be in January or February, which I'm okay with. I do not want to be iced in for Christmas. Everyone's driving. I'd rather be holed up with no reason to travel if there's going to be an ice storm, but that's my bias.
We're good.
Well, okay then. I know I have to do some particular winter prep. Everyone's house is a little bit different. Mine's fairly rural, has a well house. Because of the setup, I have to do things very uniquely to make sure I don't lose water, even if we still have electricity. Pipes can freeze, such as in my particular case, I have a pipe that goes from the well house under my driveway into my house. And even if the well house is fine and the pump is fine, if the pipe in the driveway freezes, I lose water, even if the water in the house is running like it should. But it's been years since that happened. It was a very dramatic case, but I try and be as proactive as I can because you really don't want to be in that kind of situation where you don't have water in a blizzard. But fortunately, you can melt snow. It's just really, really annoying.
It's not really snow, it's ground temperature.
Ground temperature?
Mm-hmm.
We had so much snow. This one I'm thinking of is February of 2021, if I remember correctly. I think we had record snow. I think it was like a good foot. I'd have to check. But yeah, you're right. It is ground temperature because we had the ice storm that previous October and it didn't really warm up. But that just insulated the ground and made it that much more cold. But I'm going down a rabbit hole. And so you guys got to do your normal winter prep for whatever your house is set up. Mobile home. I think everyone has some form of exterior spigot. That probably needs to have some form of insulated cover on it. If it's super cold, definitely make sure to let water run.
Drip.
For people with well, in my case, if it's a certain temperature, I have to actually let it run, but that's my case. At the very minimum, you gotta let it drip or even open the cabinet door so the pipes underneath get a little bit of that the heat that your house has. In my case, the south wall gets so cold that I just pretty much have to leave the kitchen tap running and the cabinet doors open where it can freeze up pretty easily. But get to know your home, you learn all these little quirks, and if you've got a well, check with your well professional. They'll kind of guide you on the unique things you probably need to do, like if it freezes, in my case, don't turn it on because it will break things. Talk to your well person if you have any questions before doing, because that saved me a very expensive repair from.
Even if you're not unwell, if you freeze out, don't turn it on.
Nope. And when in doubt, check with the professional. We're just realtors. We can happily connect you with a proper professional. But when in doubt, double check. There's also some real people on YouTube that you could possibly reference, but still better to do local and actually ask someone that's in that field knowingly rather than a random YouTube
Call
video.
a professional plumber. They'll be happy to answer questions if they're good. Mm-hmm. Most don't have a problem answering a question for you to get you through something till you can get someone out there, because after a freeze or anything like that, usually plumbers are booked up.
Oh gosh, yes.
So you can't always get someone out there quickly on an emergency call because they're swamped. But they can at least get you something that ties you over till someone can get out there. Know where your emergency shut-off is, your whole home shut-off is for your water in case you do have a pipe that busts. Mm-hmm. That way you can shut off your water going into your home so your home isn't flooded.
If you have an older model home, you may not have a water main turnoff in your house.
Right.
Get a general idea where you can find that out in your yard, so even in snow and ice, you can at least go turn it off there if you need to. Now, if you got a more modern home or have had significant renovations, definitely see if you can find the main. And we've come across one or two houses that had two. So you might have to look for other places, but part of getting to know your house is learning where those safety things are going forward. Let's see, I know one person had a laundry room added on. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because it was added on and it didn't quite get all the heat like the rest of the house. But she learned how her house was and actually has a portable heater that every winter, like clockwork, Thanksgiving comes around, she brings it out, sets it there on the tile and turns it on. It's a temperature one, but she knows because of how that room is that if it doesn't even have a basic heater setting it to 50, her washer will freeze up and she'll have all sorts of problems. And that just comes with general home care, whether you're a tenant or a homeowner, you gotta at least know enough so you can take care of your family that's being taken care of by that property. You're allowed to talk.
I was talking.
Just not a lot.
Because you talk a lot.
Yes, but I'm trying not to outdo Carl. Gotta have goals. But yeah, hopefully we have a great winter. Hopefully it's not like 2020 or 2021 in the realm of Ice-mageddon and Snow-mageddon. But now we're prepared. Life lessons you learn. It was snow. Oh, go ahead.
Ice. Trim trees.
Yes. This is an excellent time before it gets really nasty to do the trimming trees, as mentioned, covering spigots. But there's a number of other things to keep in mind. Like if you have hedges, not just your trees, if you've got leaves, some naturalists don't want to move the leaves because that's where critters live and whatnot. The middle ground that I've read about is that you move the leaves away from your house. Cool. You want to have that biome for spiders, possums, whatever critters are going to live there. Great. They don't have to be right up against your house. One person made a giant compost pile towards the back of their property, so if it gets blown around, no one cares, and they still have a place for the critters to go. But do your research. Whatever your ethics are, your personal opinion on the matter is, it's definitely good to do research and find that happy middle, because I don't like spiders. I love them being outside my house. They're fabulous for the garden and keeping bugs down, but they get in my house, so I have to choose to move the leaves elsewhere, or they will just happily nest and it causes problems. Let's see. Ooh, if you've got a crawl space, in the case of my house, you might also check your crawl space vents. I was recommended for me to go around and make sure they're pretty well closed to kind of help keep our pipes happy and healthy. Not every crawl space has that. It's another thing about learning your house to definitely keep in mind. I could talk all day.
I don't have a crawl space, so I don't have to worry about that. I have a slab.
But if you're leaving a house, even if it's just going to be vacant for a couple of months, you might want to. I highly recommend you go through the principle of winterizing it. So if you're
not if your utilities are on.
Yes, if your utilities are on, not such a big worry. But there are some people that will turn them all off for the 2 months they're gone.
So you need to clarify that.
Clarifying is important. Not all suggestions apply to all people.
But you gotta clarify.
Yes, I'm keeping you employed, Erin. But point being is, if you're not going to be there for a long time, you got to also prepare for that. Going to be going away for Christmas for 2 weeks? You set your thermostat down lower? Okay, that's your choice. You can also do that with your water heater, but you don't want to turn them off, and you don't want to just literally turn them off. Leave cabinet doors open, leave maybe a slight drip just in case we have a sudden freeze. But you can also do tons of research on this to see what works best for like a slab house.
Or most newer thermostats are programmable. So if you want to turn them lower during the day when it's not as cold, and then turn them up at night when it's colder, that's a possibility. You can check the temperatures for when you're gone. So there's options. So just do research. Open cabinets, go ahead and drip faucets, do research for your house and while you're gone and what best suits your needs for your house.
And this is also, on a side note, an excellent time to check for window drafts. Sometimes you can't feel them during the summer. And so for my really old house, it's good that I can kind of go around and feel, okay, when the weather becomes nice, I need to get with a window professional and have them reseal it so I have better energy efficiency when it comes to my AC or heat. But this is just my own experiment, that I can actually feel the draft a lot easier in the winter than in the summer. And I can have a nice little list for the spring of being like, okay, I need to get the window guys to take care of this bedroom in the master and the sliding glass door in the dining room because it just leaked like a sieve. And I can mitigate it for the winter, but you can't do certain repairs until it's over a certain temperature. But might as well get that education now so you can fix it before you have to really exhausting AC bill. I know mine tends to be dramatically higher than my heating bill, and I like to nip that in the bud wherever I can.
If you're going to be out of town while it's cold or a chance of bad weather or anything, I'd recommend having someone you trust able to access your house in case of a bad storm or possibility of any cold weather or anything. So if there is a chance of busted pipe or any other kind of emergency, someone can get in and take care of it. You know, at least shut off water or take care of anything so you don't come back to just a flooded house and all kinds of worse damage. So, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I had a friend that actually happened to very recently. She lives in Tulsa, came to visit, and she had a fancy security system, or she would not have known that her water heater suddenly had a massive failure and was starting to flood her garage and her house. And so she did not have anyone in the area up there to actually call. So she had to drop everything and go back to Tulsa. And now she's supposedly working with one of her neighbors to be like, if this happens, can I just call you and just go out to the street and turn off my water?
Because that's 2 hours of the house flooding
and
while she's driving.
And no one really nearby to go, oh, there's water going out of your garage. Maybe I should call you and let you know. It's at least having a couple of neighbors that you can have that loose relationship, or a friend nearby or a family member nearby, that when that situation arises, you can go, hey, Margaret, can you just go see if it's actually running out my garage door or not? Oh, if it is, can you call Marcus and have him just turn off the water? Little things save you a ton of damage, and you can still spend the 2 hours to get back to Tulsa.
I had a neighbor call saying, you got a spigot of water shooting out of your driveway. Luckily, it was out of the driveway, and it was on the city side, but it was still, I mean, I was just working on the other side of town, but it was still, I mean, what if I would have been 8 hours away or something?
Ooh, we once had one, it was a vacant property, and no one was really checking on it. The agent had just done one. They've been doing the weekly check like we're supposed to, but 2 days after her check, a random person driving by called the sign and said, should water be running out the front door? It had snap froze and things had broken on the inside. So even though the realtor had done her due diligence, there's only so much we could do. And the water, fortunately, a Good Samaritan called it in and we were able to get there quickly and resolve it. But if you have a neighbor keeping an eye on your house when it's vacant or not nearby, or a relative just doing a drive-by, it can go so far to help prevent certain things from being worse than necessary. But again, random things happen. There's only so much you can do, and you can't help if everyone you know goes out of town.
Yep.
It just lines up sometimes, but at least try and be a bit better prepared, even if it's just making an agreement with the crazy cat lady that's catty corner from you to please let me know when water flows out of my garage.
So, get to know your neighbors, get to know your house, winterize.
Yeah, we're all in this together, so we got to do our prep and at least keep a vague eye on our neighbors so we could all kind of take care of each other. Even if we don't do much more than that, you can build a further, I used to be able to speak, further relationship with your neighbors if you so wish, but at least this way it goes so far to protect both of your properties, to have that loose connection there of just keeping an eye on each other. Are we doing good on time?
No.
Oh, nope. Yep, I went over. I do that.
If you have any questions or need some references for plumbers or, electrical or well or anything like that, just comment below. We'll give you some references on local plumbers or, anything like that. Not a problem. Otherwise,
That's what we're here for. We talk to so many people. You might as well use this as your little Rolodex. I know that's a dated reference, but still. But in the meantime, y'all have a great week. Hopefully enjoy the lovely weather. In the meantime, we are Main Edge Realty, we're WRME Live, where we do real life, real world real estate every day.